Wait a minute, Miss Martha, what are you doing over here at the stove already? Did you have a blooper at the beginning of you? No. I'm starting over here with you today. I've saved some time. I already have I've got 2 cups of white onions, 1 cup of red onions, so 3 cups of onions, 1 cup of peppers, 1 cup of celery, all chopped up with 1 stick of trans fat, 0 trans fat, margarine, and 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to have these on high heat until the onions go clear, and I'll move along with the rest of my ingredients. But everybody I know right now, they don't have the COVID, but in 2023 they got that flu. Even when they got the flu shot, it's just going around like crazy around here because people, they do the little test, and they don't have COVID, they go on to work when they're sneezing, and I'm like, the bank teller, the lady at the grocery store, the lady at the drugstore, the lady at Wegmans, Walmart, Target, all of them sneezing. And I'm like, God bless you, God bless you. But under my breath, I'm going, God bless you, I wish you had stayed home. I guess when you got the flu, you still got to go to work. However, we're going to combat the flu, make sure I don't catch it in my household here. I'm making anti-flu soup. I've got plenty of recipes of chicken soup on my cooking channel on YouTube already, but this one here is one of the best. It's one of the easiest ones because this is something I make all of the time. I always have these ingredients in my freezer, my pantry, or my refrigerator, so if I ever hear the first sneeze I hear, boo, 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 Miss Martha's on it, and I'm making soup. If I don't have some out in my freezer, it's easier to just go pull it. That's why you make a big pot so you can freeze your extra. And when this cools down, and I keep out what we're going to eat today and tomorrow, when this cools down, I will freeze the other portions of it. And when you go to the freezer, you're going to move your other soup to the front, put the newer soup to the back. You can rotate your pantry just like your freezer, just like you do your pantry. So they're almost clear. In the interest of time, I've already opened all the cans, and I have drained off, except the tomatoes. I didn't drain the tomatoes, but I've drained off the canned vegetables. If you notice here, it tells you this little 15-ounce can is 3 servings, and it says per serving is 10% of the daily amount of sodium that you should have. So each can's got 30% of the sodium, the salt intake that you should have. Boy, that's like deadly. So you need to drain all of that salt out, drain all that broth off and throw that away, and save your vegetables to lower the sodium content. And I bought salt-free, no sodium chicken stock that I'm going to use. Well, I mean, it's already in the pantry. I didn't buy it today. I'm trying to make sure when I do buy my groceries, I watch the sodium content and I watch the fat content. I've been doing that for years now, but I'm really being vigilant about it moving into 2023 here for the new year, and I hope that's something you'll watch too. Okay. These are looking good enough we can move along. The next thing I'm going to add, y'all know Miss Martha hates to peel. I hate to peel garlic. So I've got the fancy garlic today, which is already mushed with olive oil in it. So we're going to use big heaping 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And 1 teaspoon, I've got the little special mustard, but any kind of mustard will do. 1 teaspoon of mustard. There we go. Okay. Just stir that around. Got mustard, got a little bit of vinegar in it, and that'll help brown my onions for me here. And my garlic. And my peppers. And my celery. There we go. Smells great already. I've got 32-ounce Cardin's, no sodium, unsalted chicken stock. Got that on in here. I'm still on high heat at this point. For that cooled things down. 1. Here's the second one. Like I said, I'm using up items that I had in my freezer and in my refrigerator and in my pantry. So I didn't go out and buy. If I had gone to the store, I would have bought fresh chicken. But I had my frozen chicken fillet. This is 3 pounds frozen chicken breast, skinless, boneless. Try to put that in there, splashing all over me. Move some things out the way here. Stir it, give it a little stir. Okay. I've got 4 cans of sliced, diced tomatoes. I didn't drain those. I think I got the little ones with Italian seasoning in them today. That was what was in the pantry, but any tomato will do. I'll even use fresh tomatoes out my garden, but it's in garden season right here in January. And I've got 1 can of no salt added tomato sauce. Let's give that a stir. I'm still on high heat at this point. Okay. I've got 1 can of coconut milk. Let's get a clean spoon here. 2 small cans that have been drained of green chilies. 2 cans of green peas. They've been drained. Obviously, I said I've drained all of them already, all my canned goods except for the tomatoes have been drained. 2 cans of sliced potatoes. That. 2 cans of dark red kidney beans. Soup's one of the easiest things to make. It's just set it and forget it. But you have to turn it down. You got to turn it down to simmer. Or I'll stick to the bottom of the pot. Okay. 3 cans of cannellini beans. 'Little spoon, get them all out of there. You paid for them, you won't eat them. 3rd can. Cannellini beans are my favorite. Put them in all my soups and stews. All right, let's give that a stir. She's looking pretty. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Okay, got 3 cans of lima beans. 3 cans of yellow white corn. And 1 of sliced carrots. It's a lot in the pot, as you can see here, so when it comes up to temperatures, when I'm going to turn it down to simmer, and that's when I can walk away and do my little chores for the day. I'll still be around the house. I'm not going to leave my house and leave something cooking on the stove. I mean, I'm going to go put the laundry in the washing machine. I'm going to put the little sweaters on the chihuahuas, let them go out back and go to the bathroom, or go run the vacuum. Stuff like that. And I'm going to spray the Lysol out of everything, because if there's any germs coming here off my husband's work clothes, I'm going to make sure I've killed them. Alright, I'm going to pause it for a second so I get these cans out the way, and then we're going to put our seasonings in. Alright, let's give it a good stir. How pretty that looks. Like a work of art, isn't it? Smells delicious and it's nutritious. Let's move along here. I'm going to put in 1/2. I know, Miss Martha, you just took all the salt out. I know, but there was no salt on the chicken. That was just frozen by itself. So I'm going to put a 1/2 tablespoon salt. Now, you may not be like me. You may want more salt in your soup. Just be careful. Some people, you put as much as 2 tablespoons of salt in this amount of soup. I wish you wouldn't do that. Try it my way first. Try it like that before you add extra to it. I'm going to make up for the lack of salt. Doesn't necessarily mean lack of flavor, because I'm adding spices for that. I've got 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper, 2 tablespoons garlic powder, 1, 2, 1 tablespoon onion powder, because I got plenty of onions in it, 2 tablespoons of powdered chicken bouillon, 1, 2. Let's give that a stir. Beautiful soup. You don't have to be sick to eat soup. Soup will really warm you up on a warm day. And we're just in January. I know we had some crazy weather here recently. We had as much as, it was 22 degrees one Monday, and then by Friday it was up to 68 degrees around here. So I don't know what's going on with Mother Nature. I guess she's having menopause. All right, so I'm up to ground oregano now. I'm going to use a 1/2 teaspoon. I've got ground thyme, 1/2 teaspoon. Ground sage, 1/2 teaspoon. Now, I have this little thing in my pantry. It's a poultry season, and it's got everything that I just put in there. It's got thyme, it's got sage, it's got oregano, it's got margarine. What else does it have in it? Rosemary, nutmeg, black pepper. What I like about it is it's all ground. When I'm using rosemary, if I'm doing it on duck or venison or red meat, anything like that, I don't mind the little crunchy, gritty little things. I try to crush it up in my mortar pedestal my big old granite mortar pedestal thing, but sometimes you can't get all those little twiggy kind of things out of it. So I like this that's already ground, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to use 1, 2 teaspoons of that. All right, let's stir that in. There was no salt in that. There is salt, I think, in the chicken bouillon. That's why you gotta be careful with that. First ingredient is salt. And you know, they tell you your first ingredient is the largest amount of ingredient in it. All right, let's move over here. I've got turmeric next. 1 teaspoon. 1/2 teaspoon cayenne pepper. 1/4 teaspoon chili powder. I want a little heat in my soup. I want it to open up if I'm under the weather, and even if I'm not under the weather. But if I'm under the weather, I like a little spice in my soup because it'll open your sinuses up, help you breathe clearer. This is the one that I don't mind the little leaves because they'll disintegrate. I'm gonna go a whole teaspoon of the basil leaves. There we go. Okay. What's missing? I know you know. If you watch any of my videos, anything that I've got tomatoes in, I'll put a teaspoon of sugar in it. Okay, everything is in the soup. We'll retain this to freeze later. Stir it up really good. Okay, get all that spice stirred in. I'm going to let it come to a boil, then I'm going to turn it down to simmer, and I'm going to watch it for the next hour or so, because I'll be going back to the washing machine, coming back into this room, changing the sheets on that bed, carrying. So every time I walk by it, I'm going to try to check it and stir it and make sure it's not sticking to the pot, which you shouldn't on simmer anyway. It shouldn't stick to the pot, but you got to keep an eye when you're cooking. Never go away and leave. Never leave your house and leave an electrical appliance running. Don't leave the stove on. Don't leave the washing machine on. Don't do that, because you never know when there's going to be a surge. Even if you've got things plugged into a surge protector, you don't want to come back to a house fire and found everything gone, including your pets. I've got 4 little chihuahuas, and they are my family. So I'm not going to do anything that would bring risk to them. Okay. I'm going to turn that down to simmer. It'll seem like it'll be no time by the time I pick back up with you, but I'm going to be busy for the next 1 hour. Whew, I got to get in this jacket. I'll be back. Whew, I have to ditch that jacket. It gets hot in the kitchen when you're cooking. Let's do a little seasoning check here. It's been simmering for about 10 minutes or so. I'm not going to taste a piece of chicken because that's not done yet. I'm just going to check the broth, check my seasoning. That's good stuff. I hope you'll make it my way and don't put a ton of salt in it. You really don't need it. If you want to kick it up a little bit, add some more of the poultry seasoning or add a little bit more of the cayenne pepper or something, but don't add more salt. Let's try to make this a year that we all cut down on our salt and keep our blood pressure down. That way we won't get as angry at everybody else. We can try to be more tolerant and listen to other people's viewpoints instead of just thinking my way or the highway kind of stuff. Got a little tip for you here. We just found this in the market the other day. You know, my son is a big fan of the Sprite soda, but so that's what we have in the house for him. I have Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi, caffeine free, you know, zero Coke, zero, whichever I can find. I'm not picky about it. I like them both, but he just likes Sprite. So that's his little treat. He has Sprite sodas in the refrigerator, and he puts them in his cooler for work. But you know, some places only have Coke products, some places only have Pepsi products. I can't tell you now because lots of stores and restaurants and things are closed, so I don't remember whether it's Taco Bell that has a Pepsi or whether it's Hardee's that has the Coca-Cola, but whichever. So whoever has Pepsi product used to always have Sierra Mist, and they didn't have Sprite. And that's kind of a letdown for him. He'd tolerate it, but you know, it's not the same thing on his little lunch break. So we found that the Sierra Mist, we couldn't find it in the store. We were going to get some to put in his lunchbox. Say, well, maybe if we drank more of it, we'd get more used to having that on a lunch day. It disappeared, kind of like the way Taco Bell did with the Mexican pizza. They kind of hide it from you, then they try to bring it back to make you miss it, think you're going to like it more. Didn't work for them. They tried to revamp the formula on their Sierra Mist. Wasn't working for Pepsi. So what they have done now is they have discontinued Sierra Mist altogether. We're kind of happy about that because we don't like the name and we don't like the graphic of it, but we love what's on the inside. This new lemon lime soda by Pepsi called Starry. Hopefully it'll be in restaurants soon, but it's in the markets. You can get it. If you like Sprite, give it a try, because I'm a fan of competition. If you don't like just buy Coke and buy Pepsi. Keep both products, because I like competition, because competition in a capitalistic market means that nobody can have a monopoly on something and charge what they want to charge for something. Supply and demand kind of, I don't want to get all into the economic course here. I just want to tell you that I like to save money and I like to buy things that I like. And that's kind of hard to do either one of those things right now with the economy the way it is. So I thought I'd turn y'all on to the Starry Soda if you are a fan of Sprite, or if you used to like the Sierra Mist. Pick you up some at the market. Okay, I'm gonna go finish my chores, and the next time you see me, my soup should be ready. Woo! Off to do some chores. You've already had, don't you have another cup of coffee? You had already had coffee. Have a glass of juice. Have a cup of Starry soda. I'll be back in a few minutes. It's gonna be an hour for me, but it seemed like a few minutes for you.